Hey y'all, it's a blurp.
So this is Cherry Pie Cottage.
Yep.
Blurp number...
Whatever.
Bleh.
Blah, blah. That's what we're going to call
yes.
it. Blurp blah.
Blurp blah. So we are incredibly late recording this. Today is Wednesday, July 4th.
Happy 4th!
Yay!
Yay! See, you know, blue, red.
Blue, red.
Didn't plan it.
No.
He didn't. I planned red.
So, you ever wonder if they have a July 4th in Canada?
No, they have July 1st. That's Canada Day.
But they still have a July 4th.
Yes, they do.
It comes right after July 3rd.
Yes. Yes, dear. But when we're talking about July 4th, like, celebrating, no.
Well, I didn't say celebrate.
Anyways, you see what I put up with?
So, we got back from our trip Sunday night.
Yes.
Sunday night we made it back, got our dogs out of the kennel, out of the boarding, and
Saturday night. We got back Saturday night.
It was Saturday. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Sunday the kids were zombies.
Yep. They've been kind of zombies since then, really.
Yep.
So
got up, went to church Sunday morning, and they barely made it through a wake. And then I stayed home and took care of them Sunday night because they were just exhausted.
Yep. So what we wanted to do in this blurb is just kind of do some My Precious and a Snack Attack. Mm-hmm. That, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. we definitely hit up a few yarn shops in the San Antonio area. A couple of them we really like.
Yeah.
So
let's start with the first one we went to, which was the weekend we took the kids to camp.
And that was
Tinsmith's Wife. That's one of our favorites. They're in Comfort, Texas. Yes, you did. The one you've been looking for forever.
That's right. No, this isn't the one I've been looking for forever.
Do you want me to go first since I've got like 3 from that place?
Yeah.
Anyways, here, I just kept the receipt. We didn't get a card and we forgot to get pictures because we were just too ecstatic to finally be in a yarn store.
We were horrible vloggers on this trip because we hardly recorded anything. We hardly took any pictures. And so...
Oops.
Sorry. Sorry.
So, she carries a lot of indie dyers or local. Well, yeah, those are local dyers tend to be indie dyers.
Well,
But she also carries some of the higher end box stores box store yarns like Malabrigo, and but she's constantly looking for new dyers to carry. So if you're an indie dyer that is looking to do wholesale, you should contact her because she's constantly looking for new ones. But since we were in Texas and she carries a lot of Texas dyers, I had to get some more Yarn Carnival. Yay! This is on her high wire 3-ply, which is 100% superwash merino, and it's the colorway Ice, and it's 490 yards. I stuck to my plan of getting tonals, with the exception of one, but I think it could possibly pass as a tonal, but he doesn't think it could. Anyways. And it will go with so many of my other ones. And I've been dying to record so I can cast on all the new things. But then I have heard all of our Canada friends constantly talk about this yarn. And I have been wanting to try it. And they just so happen to have the perfect gray. So I got, hold on, this skein was coming apart. I got my first Sweet Georgia. Woot woot. It's in the Snowfall colorway on the Tough Love sock. And oh my goodness, is it soft and squishy. It's an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. And
smell.
So sheepy.
I'll be the judge.
And it's so soft and so squishy, and it might get cast on soon.
Probably like as soon as we stop recording today.
I don't know about that. And then I got one more, but it's already in a project because it's, well, I'll let him talk about his yarn while I go grab that project.
My darn. All right. So I finally was able to find this colorway that I've been looking for. It is Savvy Skeins.
Another Texas dyer.
Another Texas dyer on the Sensible sock base. 430 yards, 100 grams, fingering weight. And it's the Tsunami colorway. And I love this, and I don't know what their actual inspiration for this was, but I'm sure everybody's seen it out there. There's a painting, a Japanese painting called The Great Wave off of Kanagawa. It's the tsunami painting that you know, with the Japanese longboats and everything. I absolutely love that painting. I used to have a coffee mug that was more like a soup bowl of how big it was.
Sadly, he broke it.
And it broke. So, I got this. Picked this up at the Tinsmith's Wife. So, that is my first one that I got. Actually, it's the only thing I got at the Tinsmith's Wife because they had it, and I've been trying to find long dog yarn, but there's only one place in Texas that carries long dog yarn, and that's in McKinney, Texas. And me personally,
I think she's a dyer from up north.
So, Savvy Skeins?
No, the long dog.
Long dog? Yeah, the long dog's from like Seattle, I think. Somewhere around there. Seattle, Portland, something. But, ooh, that's super sheepy.
Oh.
But since I couldn't find the long dog, I went with this one that I've also wanted for a while.
He's been looking for months for that.
So, Savvy Skeins, Tsunami colorway.
Yep.
And this is going to go in a project with another yarn that I got at a different shop that I'll show in a moment.
So I already had Malabrigo Ario, which is the sport weight, in 2 colors. And I had been wanting to knit the doo-wop shawl. Let's see if I can find you a picture. For a while. But I just could not find the right color.
Do you need some help?
Yes. Can you show them that picture without showing the pattern? I couldn't find the right color to go with these 2. But the colors are Azules and Barajas. I guess. I don't
Barajas.
Barajas. So, but there's the pattern.
So there's the doo-wop.
So, and I have the exact color.
Hopefully y'all got that. We don't have our TV set up today, so I'm not, hopefully that made it into the shot, but.
So I have the exact same, this was actually knit with this base in the purple color, and I have that one, and the natural, which is the one that I bought at Tinsmith's Wife, which was what she uses, and then she uses the Plumo colorway, which is a gray. I didn't have a gray, but I had that color, which is the Azules colorway.
It's like a blue and purple and teal maybe.
But either way, it still looks fantastic in the shawl. And since I already started knitting with it, then...
Oh, we weren't showing knitting.
Well, you have to show yours too.
I don't have to.
Yeah, because it's new.
Okay.
So this was the purple, and then up here is the blue and the white, and I'm just getting into the mosaic. So, right here.
Oh, that's neat.
So, yay! But that was our haul from Tinsmith's Wife, which was the first one we went to, and anytime we take the kids to camp, it will either be when we drop them off or pick them up, we are going to go to Tinsmith's Wife.
Yes.
We love that store, and the owner is friendly as can be. Love her.
And it's a good sized shop too.
Oh, yeah.
Comfort, Texas is right outside of Kerrville. Like you're kind of in between Kerrville and San Antonio. Yeah. And it's a bunch of little antique shops and craft stores and whatnot.
Neat little downtown area.
Yeah, real pretty town.
So, but Love that store. This was our second time. We found it last year and had to go back this year. And it's nice because they have a couch so the kids can go and sit and don't bug us.
And I can take a nap.
Yeah, because you did.
I did. I definitely sat on that couch and
He
took
found
a nap.
his one and that was it,
Yep.
and I found 3. But in my defense, they were all tonals, which is what I was going for.
Yep.
So that was Saturday, the day we dropped. That
Yeah.
was Friday. We dropped the kid. No, it was Saturday. We dropped the kids off Sunday and drove back home. Then Wednesday, we drove back to San Antonio for a long weekend for me and him before we picked the kids up.
A very long weekend. It was nice.
Yes, it was very nice. And it was way too late to go to any yarn store or whatever. We actually just went to HEB and got groceries for suppers and
Yep.
breakfasts because we're those people. We don't want to eat out that much while we're...
When I was in the military, one thing I learned is when you go TDY, when you're staying in a hotel, the best way to save money is to just get food and have it in your room, so that way you're not constantly having to go out to eat or whatever. A lot of TDYs were sustained with breakfast cereals and ramen noodles.
And sandwiches.
Sandwiches too.
Because you do peanut butter
I
ones.
would. I'd get stuff for sandwiches, have it all in my room, spend like $50, and there's all the food for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they usually would give you like a budgeted $200.
Oh yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah. That's the one thing we miss about the military is the trips and
Yeah.
the financial. Being away, here, let's pay you to make up for the fact that
Yes.
we take you away from your family.
So anyway.
Anyways, so then Thursday was all about yarn stores.
Yes.
Supposed to be. We went to Barn Owl, which we've been to before, and it was great, but she didn't have a whole lot of indie dyers. She didn't even carry Malabrigo.
I think she had Malabrigo.
But it was mostly like Barocco and Cascade and the other yarns that...
And if those are the yarns you like, then it's great.
But that's not why we go to yarn stores.
We definitely don't want to come across as
Pretentious or
as
anything.
bad mouthing the
Oh, absolutely
the shop.
not. It's a neat little
it's
shop.
a nice shop in kind of a cultural district of San Antonio.
It's in an old house.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
And I think the owners like live upstairs
I don't
from
know.
it. Maybe. I
But
think they
it's-
live on the property.
Yeah, and she carries her own hand-dyed yarn.
Mm-hmm.
But we just didn't find much there.
Right.
So we do like it. Don't get us wrong. It's just we didn't find a lot there this time. So, but we each got one skein. Can you believe that? Just one.
Mm-hmm.
You want to show yours first?
I do.
Because it goes with...
I walked in, I saw it, and I said, that's the yarn I want, right there. So this is the Araucania yarns.
Araucuna.
That's Araucania. That's a CA.
That's a UCA.
Right.
Araucuna.
I'm going to let y'all pronounce it. It's this yarn. Okay, so...
It's down in South America.
Yeah. Hand-painted pure extra fine merino wool. 100% wool. 100 grams. And the color is number 131 tonals. Is what it says. So I got this to go with my Savvy skeins. And I think I'm going to do something brioche with it, but I'm not sure yet. Either brioche or I might try fingering socks again.
Double knitting.
I don't know about double knitting. I don't know if that would work with double knitting. But something is going to be made with these two yarns. I just don't know what yet. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. I got some of her hand dyed, and it's the Squishy Superwash. It's 100% Superwash Merino, and it's Barn Owl yarns, and it's on the Grizzle colorway, and it's a tonal gray because tonal gray goes with everything. So, and I just love gray. But that's what I got. And then we went to one more, After we fixed the flat tire.
Yeah.
Got a screw in the tire, he fixed it.
Yeah.
So then we went to one Unravel?
Mm-mm. No, it was the one where that young girl was working there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now.
Ah.
See, I told you, horrible vloggers.
Unravel.
It is
I was right.
Okay. Sorry.
It's Unravel. They had Hedgehog. And that's another neat little yarn store that I would probably go back to. They have Malabrigo. Or not, yes, they did have Malabrigo. They also had Madeline Tosh. They had Hedgehog. They had several. But a lot of them were out of our price range because I would need a lot of it. Because I would want it for a sweater. But I got Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn, and it's one that I have been looking for forever, and it's the Pinky Swear one. And this is the one that's not really a tonal, but it's not like super variegated or super speckled. So I could still throw it in with other things, I think, personally. Mm-hmm. I could still kind of use it as a tonal. That's what I think. But I love it. Ooh, it's sheepy. Not super strong, but...
Yeah. Smells good.
Her yarn is so soft. I love Hedgehog.
So, after that, we went to the coin shop, right?
We went to... Did we go to the coin shop or did we go to lunch first?
Well, I don't remember.
I think we went to lunch with his grandmother. We met his grandparents in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Had a really good lunch with them.
Real nice lunch.
We talked forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat at Cheddar's for a while and just talked and whatnot.
Then we went to a coin shop.
Yes.
Because his birthday, and
It
that's
was
what
my
he
birthday.
wanted.
It was for my birthday.
He wanted a coin budget.
So, didn't have very much of a budget, which that's typical. That's the perils of not being just ridiculously rich and having hobbies that can be ridiculously expensive. So anyway,
or, having to fix her home.
Yeah, what I came away with was another Morgan silver dollar, and again, I really hope that is showing up. It's an 1884, minted in New Orleans, and the reason I picked this one is because New Orleans was rather notorious for having weak strikes on their coins. Not really sure why. There's nothing in the records that indicate why their strikes would have been weak. The dies were made the same as all the others in Philadelphia and then sent down there. So maybe they were just too worried about getting down to Bourbon Street or something. I don't know. But this one has, for it being in New Orleans, it has a very good strike on it. And I haven't really had a chance to really examine it yet, but I thought it was really, really nice. And it was in my budget, so. Yep. And I got this, and I also got some just loose silver coins that they're not like in great condition. I got them just for the silver. So one day I might melt them down and make a ring or something. I don't know. We'll see.
I was the good wife. I actually went to the coin store with him.
She did.
And I was very patient when he talked about coins. I had no clue what he was talking about, but I acted like I was interested. So.
And one thing I have found in several coin shops, not just this one that we went to, but the people that work there or own it tend to assume that people that come in don't know what they're talking about. There was a coin there that was clearly worn, like carried around in a pocket for a while, and the grade that they had on it was far too high for what it really was, and they tried passing it off. Oh no, well it's a New Orleans coin, and that's just a weak strike. No, I know the difference between a weak strike and a worn coin, but yeah.
Yep. Then after that, we were driving around trying to figure out what to do. No clue. So we started heading back to the hotel and decided, hey, let's go see what's showing. thinking, oh, there's probably not going to be anything because the only ones that are in the theater we really wanted to see, the kids were going to want to see with us. Well, Ocean's 8 came out, so we went and saw it. We like the Ocean's movies.
Keep talking.
We've seen the other 3, and we really, really, really like those movies. So we went and watched it, and it was a very good movie. I am so glad they didn't just completely remake it. They actually continued the story with an all-female cast. So that was really, really great.
And it kept with the original, with the first 3.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the original because the George Clooney ones were remakes.
Yeah.
Or it started out as a remake of the one, and then they made the other 2. But the cinematography in it was the same.
The way they did the stealing was the same.
Yeah. And it was really good.
Yes.
So
it's really, really good. And they picked good characters. Or good actors to play the characters. It was really good.
Yep.
So then after that, we went back to the hotel and sat and knitted for the rest of the night.
Of course.
Yeah. Then the next day, we got up kind of early and went to Green. Texas, which is right outside New Braunfels. And we went around to, there's the general store there, and we're going to put in some pictures from that. I love that store. It's just neat. They have a lot of jalapeno dips and honeys and all sorts of like jarred things that you would, anyways, they're all made by people here in Texas.
They had prickly pear jelly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
Yep.
It was so good.
And then the back part of the store is little novelty knick-knacky stuff, but it was a lot of like Texas things. And we're gonna put in some pictures of some of the chocolates they had that were definitely Texas named. Quite funny. I had to take a picture, but I took lots of pictures in there of things, and he will insert all those pictures. And then we walked over to the antique store across the street from that and looked around there, and we have some pictures from there. Not a lot.
No.
And then we walked over to Green Hall, which is where George Strait and his band first started.
King George.
Walked by Gristmill. We didn't eat there because it's kind of expensive. And then we walked over to this other neat little shop that was like t-shirts and novelties. Didn't buy anything, didn't get any pictures. And then got back in the car because it was stinking hot. Oh my goodness. Went over to a toy store that said it's a toy store, but it's really more of a toy store, ironically.
Well, it was a toy store for all ages. It said newborn to adult. So you had your small child toys on one side, and then when you go to the other side, like she said, it was like, oh, let's be ironic and have toys, and a lot of it was just stupid. There was a lot of profanity in it, like on socks, like profanity on socks.
Yeah. Like in plain view of the children's section too. I mean, you may think we're kind of prudish, but we don't appreciate that because we have kids. We don't cuss. We prefer to keep it away from them. Yes, they're going to hear it because we live in a world where that happens. But if you're going to proclaim to be a toy store for all ages, then maybe you should watch what you actually put in the store. That's just our opinion.
Yeah.
So, off of our soapbox, then we went to a place called Fickle Pickles. And I was excited because I love pickles. They were all sweet pickles. So then I just kind of,
Yeah.
They were sweet and they were kind of spicy.
It was supposed to be an antique store that also sold their own homemade pickles, but all they had was their homemade pickles. So, false advertising, but...
Yeah. And then...
I like the pickles, but I like sweet ones.
Yeah. And then next door to that was a coffee shop, which was great, except for I was so stinking hot and just needed water, we didn't get coffee. Can you believe that? We did not get coffee. And then from there, we went to Buc-ee's. Yay! We had lunch. We'll put in our pictures. Snack tack.
So good.
Oh, every single morning that we were there, we went to Summer Moon, our favorite coffee shop in San Antonio.
Oh,
they fire roast their coffee beans.
We'll be back down there next month so we can have
Yes,
more.
we will. And you can get it hot or cold. We always get the cold, which is called Winter Moon. But we get the we get the half Winter Moon because it cuts the sweetness in half because they make their own creamer and it tastes like melted ice cream.
If you want an idea of what it tastes like, make yourself some cold brew coffee and let a thing of vanilla ice cream just kind of sit out on the counter until it melts, and then put that in your coffee, and that's what it tasted like.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
The creamer and the fire roasted coffee. At some point, we're going to remember to actually buy a bag of coffee because we already know exactly what we want, so we go through the drive-thru now.
Yeah. And we got some pictures of Summer Moon, like a couple. We got the outside of the building, then we got the menu.
And we got our drinks.
And the drinks.
So, but anyways, at Buc-ee's, we actually didn't spend much time there. Because we
Again, perils of not being ridiculously rich.
Well, we were trying to not spend a whole lot of money on this trip because the end of this month, we're going to be gone for another week for our family vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we had a plan. We each, since I wanted just a t-shirt, which is $15, he would have the same budget to pick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to get our refills and lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a t-shirt, and we'll put in a picture of it here. I think it's hilarious. It just kind of fits my personality, so I had to get it, and it's one of my favorite colors. And then you got...
I got food.
Yes, that's what he always does.
I got the little Beaver Bites cookies, which are awesome. If y'all have received the Beaver Nuggets from us, it's that flavor, but in cookie form.
It's a little bit more salty.
And one thing, the Cozy Up girls, we sent them some nuggets, and one thing that Sarah had mentioned that I hadn't even considered. We always say it's like a Cheeto, but covered in caramel instead of the cheese. It's not sticky. It's not like coated.
Yeah.
In like
it's not like heavy.
Melt. Yeah, it's not heavy. It's got the flavoring, but it's not like it's not going to stick in your teeth. It's not going to mess with you.
It's more like they kind of tossed it in caramel instead of coating it.
Yeah. So if if that was a concern you had. But when Sarah tried it, she loved them. She had a pile of them on the table.
She was the one that said, I don't know if I can eat a lot of that because it might hurt my teeth because it's too chewy.
Yes.
She ended up taking a whole bunch more and eating them because they didn't hurt her teeth. So there's that.
But anyway, so I got the cookies and I got some white chocolate macadamia nut popcorn.
Which is what you always get.
It's so good.
And then he usually devours it within a week, which I'm surprised you still have some.
It's in my yarn box on my side of the couch.
So you don't see it all the time.
Right. But while I'm on the couch knitting, I can just reach around and grab it. So I got those, and I got some dried kiwi slices because I love kiwi. And
Promptly finished all of those shortly after we got home.
Oh yeah, they were gone.
So I bought him some more United yesterday.
But that's what I got. I didn't get a t-shirt this year. I didn't really see any that just kind of jumped out at me.
And so,
they had one that I liked.
Yeah.
They had one that I liked, but I am not part of the class of 2019. So I'm about 17 years too late for that. And
surprise, surprise, we did not get any beaver nuggets this time.
No nuggets.
We probably will get some when we go into this month, though. The end of this month will probably be a bigger haul because we'll have the children with us too.
Yeah.
I always get a t-shirt, but in my defense, I thought it would be okay to get it this time because one of my other ones got a stain on it, like an ink stain, and I couldn't get it out. So technically, I'm just replacing that one. I do know I'm getting another shirt next time we go, which will be the end of this month, and I know exactly which one I'm getting.
Okay.
Then after Buc-ee's, we drove. It was in New Braunfels. We went to Lucky You, which is another yarn store.
And we got lots of pictures from that one. I made sure to take pictures.
She has an entire room of the local dyers, and she dyes her own yarn using natural. I mean, like she dyes it natural, and most of it, like 90% of what she uses, she gets out of Texas right there in New Braunfels. Yep. Most of it off of her own land.
Yep.
So I got 2 skeins. He didn't get any because she didn't have any worsted.
That's where I got my 2.
You didn't get her yarn.
Oh no, not her yarn. But I got other yarn from that store.
She had 3 other ones, and then she had another room full of like Cascade and all your typical stuff. She also had Malabrigo, like a whole wall of Malabrigo.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I kind of fell down at that store a little bit. You kind of did too for you.
Yeah, for me. For me, I went just buck wild at that store, bought all of the skeins. For me.
I'm going to show
And you'll see what that means here in a bit.
Yeah. I'm going to show these 2, and then you can talk about yours. So if you want to get it out and ready.
Oh, it's ready.
Okay. So her company is called Wool Tree Yarn, and she said this was in South Africa, right? Because they had never, or in Africa. What was this? Germany. Right, because they'd never seen cotton. So
when they first saw cotton, when the explorers first saw cotton, they thought it was wool that grew on a tree.
Right. It says there grew a wonderful tree which bore tiny lambs on the ends of its branches. So in German, cotton is called wool tree. So she's part German, and New Braunfels was settled by Germans. So it was just kind of fitting. But it's called Wool Tree Yarns. So
and the picture on there, she was explaining the picture. That's actually like a wood carving from like the 15th century or something like that.
Yeah.
Of when they discovered cotton, I guess. Mm-hmm. She was explaining it, and yeah.
But This one she dyed with sumac. And it's 438 yards. It's a 70% superwash merino and a 30% silk. And yes, it's a gray, but it's a brownish gray. But it's super, super soft. And I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do because I have some Yarn Barn that is the same base that I want to knit with it. And then, because I can, I got another skein. It's a really pretty like light purple, so it'll go with my hot pinks and stuff in mine.
Kind of a lilac, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's cochineal? Cochineal?
Cochineal?
Here you go.
Something.
You pronounce that.
Cochineal.
But, oh, and it's the same base. It's so soft. And she had one that was in between these two that was dyed variegated. So it was this color and this color so you could fade. She, like all of her, most of her yarn that was on the table faded into the next color. It was really cool because in between, she went from the lightest to the darkest or whatever, but in between each tonal, she had one that was variegated between, that was the two colors. So I almost got 3 skeins because I wanted the one that goes in between, but then I was like, no, the whole purpose is to get tonals, so I did not get it. I was quite proud of myself because I'd also picked up like a really, really pretty bright blue that was, what was that dyed with that she said that was the one thing she couldn't get here?
Logwood, maybe?
Yes, it's logwood. That comes from
South Africa.
South Africa, right? And she has to use the
like a lot
sawdust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She uses the sawdust from the wood to dye the yarn. And it, I mean, it comes out really nice. And
Yes.
she had one, I almost got the one where it was the natural and the logwood.
Yeah.
Because, it, I mean, it looked like faded blue jeans.
Yeah.
You know, she had some that were really rich and vibrant. And then I guess as she got to the end of the batch, it came out looking more like faded blue jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Not like acid wash, but like just genuinely faded.
Yeah. She also says that it takes a lot because she said most natural dyers don't put a whole lot in, so that's why you don't get that saturation of color. She said she puts in a ton, so you get the full saturation in the dark colors. Mm-hmm. But she was really friendly and answered all of our questions and gave us a tour of the place, and she was fantastic. Mm-hmm. We might have to go back and see her into this month. Even if we can't convince my parents.
I don't know if we're going to have time. When will we go?
We have 2 free days this year.
Well, maybe. Okay.
So
same store. Lucky you.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 skeins. Which, like I said, that's going buck wild for me. What I got...
Show this one first.
Well, hold on. I'm going to
Okay.
show the tag. This is Heavenly Fiber, and it's another indie dyer.
Actually, show that one first.
Oh
Sorry.
my goodness, can I?
Yes.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
So, Heavenly Fiber. This is on the Angel DK. 198 yards. This is 45% baby alpaca, 45% 19.5 micron merino, which I guess is like super fine merino, and then 10% silk, and it's a 2-ply. So I got 2 skeins. I got. Ooh, that's coming up. Why is that coming up? Okay. And I had her wind them up there at the store for me because I really wanted to use them. So I got this one, which is the autumn colorway. And I mean, I like it because there's another one. It's called like Rusty Penny or
Copper Penny.
Copper
or
Penny.
Like that.
There's Copper Penny, and then there's Rusted Wagon Wheel.
I think it's
kinda
Copper Penny.
I kind of like both of them, but I like this one even better because it's got more of the orange, less of that rusty green or that, you know,
And Copper Penny was by
copper
Savvy
patina.
Skeins.
Right. So I got that one, and I got this one, which is called Unseelie Fae, F-A-E, which I have no idea what that means.
Fairy.
Sure. But I got this. It is blue. It's a blue tonal, basically. But I love it. And
when you're done, put that one back up.
like I said, I got her to wind them up for me because I wanted to cast something on. Can I show it?
Yeah.
Can I show it? Because well here, I'll hold this up.
Okay.
So I got this. This is the DK version of the color. And then
I got the fingering
version. And hers is a lot more vibrant than
mine's got
is.
some more purpley
tones. She got bigger patches of the purple in there.
But this is the Stellar Sock, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. 463 yards. We didn't even realize we got the same colorway until after we've already bought it.
No. And I know there's purple in there, but it's not, like on this one, it doesn't stand out enough to really detract from it. I'm not a pink or purple guy.
It's a really, really super dark purple too.
Okay, so what I cast on, and I'm super proud of myself on doing this, because I've never done it before. But Jamie, was it Jamie that suggested the hat?
Yeah, well she knit it.
Yeah, she knit. It's the Harlow brioche beanie.
Yeah, it's just Harlow, but
well, yeah, but it's a brioche beanie. And let me grab my stitch marker so it doesn't fall off. But there it is.
And it calls for fingering weight.
It does. It calls for fingering weight. I'm using DK, so I just lowered the amount of stitches I had.
It's really easy to...
I mean, it's just straight brioche all the way around.
Now the decreases might get a little tricky.
Yeah. But I absolutely love the look of this. And I don't know why, but like orange and blue just seem to work. Because my sweater's orange and blue as well. So I'll have a beanie to match my sweater.
Green used to be his favorite color.
Green did. I don't know what happened.
We think orange has become his favorite color now.
And I don't know why.
And he always puts blue with it.
But I am really impressed with the way I've been able to keep this going. And it, you know, she was saying when we watched their episode, she was saying that this hat just flies off the needles. And it really does. You know, you just, once you get in the groove of how to do the brioche, it really does just fly off the needles. Now, I've got a little oops in mine.
But look how far you got before you did.
Yeah, I got, what, 3 inches?
Because it was right after you switched to the bigger
needle. Yeah, I made it all the way through, like 3 inches, and then I had one little oops.
It's not as obvious on this side.
And like these hats are reversible, so I can wear either side out. It's
gonna be really warm with the alpaca in it.
Oh, and it's so squishy. It is so squishy, and I love it, and I love it. So sorry I didn't wait to show you the yarn before I cast it on.
Yeah.
But
I want to cast on the OHORA shawl. It's the one with the tassels that he cannot figure out why I like it. I think it was just...
She's not a tassel person.
I think it's the colors and the fact that the tassels are more in the middle of the shawl, so they kind of blend in more. But that's what I want to cast on, and I probably will cast that on.
It's this Romanian gypsy shawl with tassels all through the middle of it. And I'm not insulting the designer by any means, but that's what it reminds me of. You know, watch The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Esmeralda wears something like that.
I didn't think I was a fringe person either till I knit a shawl that had fringe. And now I kind of like fringe. Not a lot. And it needs to like really flow with it. I don't want one that just has fringe to have fringe. Mm-hmm. And the tassels I really kind of like, because they're little bitty tassels though. So that one will probably be cast on by the next real podcast.
Yeah. This is just for informational purposes.
And then after the Lucky You, across the street from there was a giant antique store.
Oh my goodness.
It had no AC.
Yeah. It's
So
4 separate buildings.
I made it through 1.5 and said I have to go sit in the car. It's too hot.
4 separate buildings, and if you're, I guess, a junker, you know, it would be your nirvana. And like in between all 4 buildings in the courtyard, it was just packed full of pieces of equipment. They had like old dirt bikes. They had all sorts of stuff.
What was it called?
A&K or something like that.
Yeah. But
Something
it's right
like
across the street from the Lucky You there in New Braunfels.
So if you're in New Braunfels and you're at the Lucky You, stand on the front porch and look across the street.
Yeah.
And that's where we're talking about.
Yes. We got some handmade cement mushrooms. They're about that big to stick in with our succulents, and they're quite cute.
Cool. I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
I'm pretty
They're
sure they were
$5.
cats from real mushrooms.
Yeah, they were $5 a piece, so it was $10. But then right before that, though, we had tried to find the Christmas shop. Slitterbahn used to have a Christmas shop. And I have seen it there since I was 6 years old when I first started going, and I've always wanted to go, and the year we were going to go, they'd closed it.
No, they used it to interview for lifeguards at Schotterbahn.
Yup. It's not happy. But in trying to find it, we came across like a whole flock of deers. Herd of deers, sorry. It was like, what, $6?
I think it was like 6 or 8 bucks. There was a doe with at least 1 fawn, like
there
back in the bushes.
One. There was probably more doe and fawn.
But they still all had the velvet on their antlers and like no fear of me. I got out of the car and kind of what it was is we were in this kind of parking lot, overflow parking for Schlitterbahn. At the edge of the back edge of that is a chain link fence, then train tracks, then another chain link fence, and then like a housing area. Well, they were just walking along the train tracks. So, eating the grass along the train tracks. So like $6 or $8, at least 1 doe with at least 1 fawn, and me with at least 0 rifles. So
and it's not hunting season.
season.
But he did get up to the fence and tried to coax one over, and the buck just looked at him and kept sticking his tongue out at him.
Yeah. I wanted him to come closer so I could pet him.
But we have pictures.
Boop his nose.
We have pictures that we can put
up. I'll put some pictures up.
Yep. And then we went back to the hotel because he wanted a brioche.
I wanted to.
So then we sat.
And it took me a few tries.
So then we sat for the rest of the evening knitting.
And then the next day picked the kids up.
Yep. Drove through Bandera. Which I forgot how pretty Bandera is.
Oh, Bandera is a real pretty one.
I haven't been there in years. If we can ever afford it, we would love to live in Bandera.
Yeah. Mayberry with electricity.
And it's about, what, 20, 30 minutes right outside of San Antonio. And there's really not much space because San Antonio's city life spreads out. So,
I think probably within the next 5-10 years, Bandera is going to be inside the San Antonio city limits.
Which would be kind of sad because then it would lose some of its appeal.
I think it would. It would lose some of its charm.
But if he ever can get a job down there that would pay enough for it to move down there, we would jump at that opportunity. So if you...
It might be a slow jump, but...
Yeah. If you are looking for somebody to work for you, contact him. We'd love to move down there. Not really. We're really quite happy with where we're at.
We're very settled in this house.
Yes, but it's a dream of ours. We always have wanted to live down there.
Well, that and it's been about 2 years since I left the military.
Yeah.
And in the military, whether you move or not, once you're in a place for about 2 years, you start thinking, okay, they're going to send us somewhere soon. They're going to move us. Where do we want to go next?
You start paring down again.
You start cleaning out drawers, getting rid of stuff that you don't need.
About the time you get settled,
in preparation for them coming down and saying, "Hey, we're going to move you here." So
because it takes about 1.5 years for you to finally get settled and into a normal routine of everything, and then 6 months later, you're like, "Okay, time to get out of this. Let's get moving."
Yep.
It's just
so we're not really looking.
No.
It's just a habit of every 2 years we start talking about, hey, where are we going to move next?
Yeah, and Monkey's like, why are we talking about this? I don't want to move. I'm like, honey, we're not moving. We're really not, I promise.
We all know why she doesn't want to move.
Yeah, she really, really likes it here. She loves the youth group. And one particular boy. She doesn't love him. She likes him.
Yeah. And that's all we're going to say about that.
Yes, because I'm not going to embarrass her. So she doesn't want to leave her friends.
So. But that was our trip, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we picked the kids up Saturday morning. We had lunch with our friends in Kerrville.
Yep. Our friends from the military.
Yep.
Which, that's a funny story. They're from San Antonio, go to the exact same camp that we met at, but the session right before us. And it took their family and our family moving to Okinawa before we met them.
Yep. Small world.
Yep.
But we had lunch with them at a Mexican restaurant there in Kerrville. Mm-hmm. And then got on the road and drove back here.
Kids slept half of the way.
Of it, yeah.
Yep, and then they were silly the whole rest of the way.
And it's only, what, like a 6-hour drive? 5-hour drive, which I figured they would have slept a lot more than half of it. I figured, they would have fallen asleep right after the restaurant, and then we'd wake them up as we're pulling into the driveway. But, yeah, they only slept a couple hours. And
talked our ears off the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So, but that was our trip. And that was everything we did. Yep. The only other piece of business we have is the June winners for our MAL.
Yay! Yay! And there have been so many things getting put in there. Mm-hmm. Somebody did a blanket.
Yes.
Or no, the blanket, we talked about the blanket last time.
Yes.
There was the checkerboard.
No, that hadn't been put in. That was just in the chatter.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody put in the chatter thread a checkerboard.
That was knitted.
Or no, tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe, yeah.
It was tic-tac-toe, a knit tic-tac-toe board. So we just spent probably 10 minutes talking to a turned off camera.
About prizes. So
we're going to talk about them again.
Okay. So we have 5 people that have entered in the last 2 months.
Since the beginning.
Right. And we need to draw prizes for June. Yeah. And since 4 of the 5 got prizes last month, we have 2 patterns to give away. You want to show them the pattern?
Yes. Okay, so the pattern that we're giving away that was donated by Talbot Fiber is the Hugs and Snugs sock. And she donated 2 to be given away every month. Every month that we're running them out.
And I will say this much. If you're going to knit these, she says to knit them on a size 2. Knit them on a size 2, whether you knit on a smaller needle or not. Because I tried to do that and they were way too tight because of the slip stitches. So do the size needle that she says. Just FYI. So the one person that didn't get a prize last month but entered this month was Chrissy Cat 1.
Yay!
Yay! So you won this pattern. I will get a hold of Talbot Fibers to have her send you the pattern. And she knit a blanket. Oh my goodness. She knit a blanket. No wonder she didn't put anything in May unless you knit all that blanket in like 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. So, but congratulations to Chrissy Cat 1. You won a pattern. Yay! Yay! Now, the other pattern and the other prize we drew for. And, surprise, surprise.
The person that has like 4,000 entries in there.
That has like 70% of the entries.
At least. Ginger Bedell.
Woohoo!
So, Ginger won. What did she win last month?
A bag and yarn last month.
A bag and yarn last month. So this month she wins. She's going to get the pattern.
So congratulations. So, and then our last prize is what to knit. Woot woot. And I want this book for myself so bad. But, excuse me, mostly because of that. I want the tutu.
For herself.
No, I want to knit it for my new little cousin that's going to be more like a niece. He found a pattern.
I found a pattern. This is the cutest thing ever. is a little old man cardigan. That
What size does it go up to?
0 to 3, or
6 to
3 to
12.
6, 6 to 12 months.
Yeah,
Depending
so it
on-
wouldn't fit him.
Depending on stitches or gauge,
Yeah.
whatever.
It wouldn't fit her
No.
big brother.
No.
But knitting in KY, you won! Yay! So contact me on Instagram or Ravelry with your address so I can get this in the mail to you. Congratulations! And that is about it for our blurb. And sorry this is coming out way later than we planned.
Way later.
But we got
We're
back
just-
Saturday night, Sunday night, the kids were zombies, and we were kind of zombies because the amount of driving we did. Well, he did.
Yeah.
I rode.
Royal we did a lot of driving.
I rode. But, and then Monday we went up to Plainview, which is where I'm from, because every year one of the members of the church that I grew up in would have the whole church over for hot dogs and ice cream before the city's fireworks. And then we all set up shop in their front yard and watch the fireworks because their house is right in front of where they set them off. So it works out really great, and I've always gone there. So when we're nearby enough, that's where I want to go, because then it's just not 4th of July without it. So, and the perils of growing up in a small town.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Not one, but two of my ex-boyfriends showed up. Fantastic! One I hadn't seen since high school. He was my very first boyfriend ever. And he showed up with this chick. He has a baby with her. I mean, I was just kind of shocked. I saw him when I walked in, but I didn't pay attention to him. And I was talking to my dad, and I happened to look over, and I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I know
That's
him.
that person.
Yes, I'm not going to say his name. Pretty sure him or anybody he knows is not going to watch this. But it was just kind of a shock. And then the other one, his parents, I'm friends with his parents still. I still talk to them all the time because they still attend church where I grew up and where my parents attend. And I'd gone over to talk to his mom and tell her hi and give her a hug. And he walks, and I'm like, oh, hi. And he's like, hey, how are you? And shakes my hand, and I'm like, I'm great. Honey, where are you?
So in all actuality, she had 3 of her ex-boyfriends.
Yes, because you used to be an ex.
Yeah.
Till we got
she
back
had
together.
3 of her ex-boyfriends at this little get-together because we had dated, broke up, whatever, and then dated, got married. So.
And what makes this even more hilarious is years I've been going back home to visit. In town, at the church, everything, and never once have I run into any of them.
See, that's the beauty of me being from Houston.
Yeah.
We can go to Houston and
Probably
not
never
run into one single person that I knew in high school.
Well, what made it even more shocking is that it was a church group.
Function.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it was a function, but
No.
the people that came were from the congregation I grew up in. And yes, his parents went, but he really didn't attend church once he got married, him and his wife. But him and his wife and their 2 boys showed up, and I was like, really? Years. And I have 2 of them. It's ridiculous. And we kind of stayed apart while we were eating, and then I followed my parents and sister and all of that to the front yard to set up our chairs. We set them up, and then one of them sets them up here, and the other one sets theirs up here. So I'm like, really? Yeah. So there's that.
13 years of marriage, I can laugh at something like this because it's actually funny.
Especially about one of them, because for a while you really didn't care for him.
Yeah, well.
But yeah. So there's that.
Anyway.
Perils of a very small town.
So anyway, to all of our American viewers,
Happy 4th of July.
Happy Independence Day. To all of our not American viewers, Happy Wednesday. So.
And we're going to go pop some fireworks off at an church we attend now at their house.
Yep. Not at the church.
No,
not at the church's house, but one of the members that we go to church.
Because they have a house outside of the city limits. So, yay!
Well, anyway,
we might put some pictures into that too, if we remember to get any.
Yeah, that's our blurb.
If we could be good vloggers.
Yeah. One of these days we're gonna grow up and be good vloggers. So,
Anyways.
Happy knitting.
Yep.
God is good.
Read your Bibles.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.